In this video, we explore the moon landing, the American achievement that defined a generation. The moon landing changed history. It united Americans. It inspired science. It gave us unforgettable moon landing photos, unforgettable moon landing videos, and unforgettable astronauts on the moon. The dream of the moon landing. The moon landing began as an idea in the middle of the Cold War. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy stood before Congress. He declared that America would land astronauts on the moon before the end of the decade. His challenge shaped the destiny of NASA. The space race between the United States and the Soviet Union was intense. The Soviets had launched Sputnik. They sent Yuri Gagarin into orbit. America had to respond. The moon landing became more than science. It became about American pride. Every American city from Houston, Texas, to Los Angeles, California watched closely. The moon landing was going to be a national effort. Thousands of American engineers, scientists, and workers joined NASA. They built rockets, trained astronauts, and designed new technology. Apollo 11 and the moon landing date. The moon landing date was July 20th, 1969. Apollo 11 carried Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Their Saturn V rocket launched from Cape Kennedy in Florida. Millions of Americans tuned in to watch the launch on television. The Apollo 11 spacecraft entered lunar orbit. Armstrong and Aldrin entered the lunar module, Eagle. Michael Collins stayed behind in orbit. The descent was dangerous. Computers gave warning alarms. Armstrong took control and guided the module to safety. The moon landing video shows Armstrong stepping onto the lunar surface. His words became immortal. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. The American flag was placed on the moon. Astronauts on the moon collected samples, set up experiments, and took moon landing photos. The impact of the moon landing video. The moon landing video reached 600 million viewers worldwide. In American homes, families gathered around television sets. Children in New York, Chicago, and Houston saw astronauts on the moon for the first time. The moon landing video became one of the most watched broadcasts in history. NASA made sure the signal was transmitted from the lunar surface to Mission Control in Houston, Texas. The grainy black and white footage is still replayed on YouTube. Today, the moon landing photos captured Armstrong's footprint in lunar soil. They showed Buzz Aldrin standing next to the US flag. These moon landing photos are displayed in the Smithsonian and the Johnson Space Center in Houston. They are permanent symbols of American courage. Questions about the moon landing fake. Since 1969, some people have asked if the moon landing was fake. Movies and conspiracy theories questioned whether astronauts on the moon were real, but the evidence is overwhelming. The Apollo 12 mission followed only months later. More astronauts on the moon collected new samples. Apollo 14, 15, 16, and 17 brought back even more proof. Moon landing photos, moon landing videos, and even scientific equipment left on the surface confirm reality. Retroreflectors placed by Apollo missions still bounce laser beams. Today, thousands of American workers, engineers, and scientists contributed. The moon landing was too big, too public, and too well documented to be fake. Hollywood and the moon landing movie. The moon landing movie genre grew in American culture. Films like First Man and documentaries replayed the original moon landing video. Hollywood dramatized the risks and sacrifices of astronauts. The idea of the moon landing fake also became part of movies and TV shows, but the cultural impact was clear. The moon landing inspired art, storytelling, and education. It became more than history. It became legend. American schools continue to show the moon landing video. Generations of children watch Armstrong's first steps. Teachers explain the moon landing date as the day science and courage came together. Apollo 12 and the continued missions. Apollo 12 proved the moon landing was no one-time success. In November 1969, astronauts Charles Conrad and Alan Bean walked on the moon. They collected more samples. They took more moon landing photos. Apollo 12 showed precision. The astronauts landed near the Surveyor 3 spacecraft, proving NASA's accuracy. This mission built confidence. It prepared the way for later Apollo flights. Each Apollo mission added to America's knowledge. They showed that astronauts on the moon could stay longer and work harder. They proved America's leadership in space. The legacy of the moon landing shaped American culture. It inspired NASA to build the space shuttle. It influenced the creation of the International Space Station. It motivates today's Artemis program, which will return astronauts on the moon. The moon landing inspired American children to become scientists and engineers. Silicon Valley innovators often credit the Apollo missions as their childhood inspiration. The moon landing photos are still displayed in American museums. The Apollo 11 command module rests at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. The Apollo 12 capsule is preserved as U.S. heritage. The future and the next moon landing. NASA is planning another moon landing. The Artemis program will send astronauts on the moon again. This time, the mission will include women and international partners. The moon landing date of 1969 will be joined by a new date in the 2020s. The new moon landing will use modern rockets. SpaceX and American companies are involved. The moon landing video of the future will be streamed in high definition. Americans will watch again, just as they did in 1969. The moon landing was the United States at its best. It was courage, it was science, it was teamwork. From Apollo 11 to Apollo 12, the moon landing remains proof of what America can achieve. If you enjoyed this US-focused documentary, hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. What do you think about the moon landing? Do you believe America should return to the moon?